back up for 2 cycles. That's what we're going to focus on this round. Adding 2 cycles, combination, defense, back to combination. This is what it takes to master the art of sparring. Nice short shots. Stay steady. Like I said, we're trying to capture that second series of combinations. After the first defensive footwork, readjust, reassess, and then go back in and trying to get 6 off this time. The art of sparring. What this does,
what's up, my people? What's good? What's good? We are about to take you through what we went through last night, which was one of the greater moments in learning when it comes to the art of boxing. So I wanted to give you a sneak peek, and I'm going to show you exactly what you can learn when you actually take part in the real essence and effervescence of boxing. So I'm going to turn it back on so you can enjoy it. But I wanted all of the guys from last night who attended. We had a madhouse of people who wanted to learn how to spar. So what we showed those guys is how you can actually learn the actual process of classic sparring, and we showed them a lot of different techniques and the methods and the system of sparring. You don't get to see that anywhere. So being that I'm from 3rd generation, I wanted you all to really understand what the difference is between going in the gym and seeing guys spar and then actually learning the system of how you develop in sparring. So those guys got an opportunity to see a lot of the behind the scenes, and it was a very, very good pleasure to work with them. And if you're learning how to spar or box and you're not learning how to really do the sparring, you are going to really not get far in boxing. So that's why I'm doing this. Of course, I want to make sure that you guys have what it is. This is what it's all about, showing you guys how to learn boxing. Because if you are trying to learn boxing on the internet, like several guys that showed up last night and they're competing, what you're going to find out is that does not work. There's a real system. So one of the analogies I gave the guy is, if you don't know how to do math, but you found a 5 plus 2 equals 7, all you do is go and get the number on the top. And it's 9 plus 3 equals 12. You go get the 12. 15 plus 2 equals 17. You go take that 17. Now you're in a situation where someone says, well, how do you add that up? And you don't know how to do it. You won't know how to actually work that problem out in the ring. You can't figure something out that someone else knows. So what we are doing is show them the behind the scenes. So what you're about to see right now is going to give you real clarity as to what happens in this elite level. And basically it's just school. That's why we offered you guys an opportunity. And yes, when guys come in, my job is to enroll you into our program so you can learn. And a lot of guys didn't even know we offered it. And I was like, because I don't like to be salesy, but my thing is to this. I'm here to serve the boxing community because I'm from the boxing lineage and I got to protect the fiber of the brand. And there are guys out there going out here getting smashed in the ring, getting dominated, or dreaming that they can actually become fighters when there are guys walking around with this amount of stuff in their heads. There's no way you can compete with that. You know, you probably know 80, 90 drills at the best. And I'm talking about those who are really doing it. It's over 5,000 pages of knowledge, drills, training systems. You can't possibly compete with that. with muscle memory. This is a process that you learn and you go in. So take a minute and learn and see exactly what we do when we go through the process of developing. It starts on the floor, it manipulates itself all over the floor in different tactical areas. And then we get you to the ring. And then there are processes that go on there. And then every once in a while, we shoot a 30-second clip so that you can see that. Remember when I said when you're doing addition, all you're doing is taking the number, but you don't know the equation. You truly don't know the equation. That's why guys get swooped. They get whooped when they come and try to work because they're not prepared. So take a look at this. Remember, we got an opportunity for you guys next Wednesday to see the actual footwork training system, not a clip on the page. And holler at me and let me know if you hear me. Because if this is you, you're in trouble because real elite level training is happening now. And it's happening here. And those are the guys you'll be facing. And you don't want that smoke because you don't have the library in your head. It's a whole entire different vocabulary. We want to equip you. It's my job to say, F what you think. I'm going to sell you into the program. If you're trying to get to serious boxing, that's what I got to do. To sell is to serve, and I serve my people. I got hundreds of testimonies. Everybody understands our brand. And if you are trying to learn boxing, this is what you got to do. Either if it's me or somebody else who's from a deep lineage can teach you that boxing is no game. So I want you guys to take a look at just a little snippet from this event last night, but the material will help you really understand boxing on an entirely different level. Check us out. Let's get it popping. The repetition of coming in, closing the distance to throw the third shot, then go to the body, and then go to the other side. So when you go here, you got to shift that body over, boom. So in the art of sparring drills, it gives you an opportunity to work that until you can actually do it and use it in the ring. Now that was tier 1 and 2, going from the 1-2s to the 1-2-3s. Then we'll throw a 4-punch combination, showing you how to deal with it defensively and how to just let your hands go offensively. Don't force your fighters and don't rush them. Okay, so like I spoke about the online academy, what you'll learn is the curriculum, how to progress from tier 1 to tier 4, which is first you go through basic combinations, defensive blocks, then counters, slips. It develops over a progression, the platform where you operate and teach and guide your guys on a daily basis. Make sure you do that. It just simplifies your job. And remember, at the end of the day, we work for you. Let's go. Bam. This is where you take yourself and get yourself into it. Next week, I think the link's in the description of the video. So take liberty to get registered. This is for free. You come in, you learn how to learn the system. So if you're a trainer, make sure you're on board. But I did notice there were a lot of guys who actually competed. Don't be delusional. You cannot learn boxing on YouTube. And I just saw a comment of a young man who said he just lost his coach. Condolences to your coach. And I know how tough it is, brother, to be in this game when you finally find someone, let alone when you find someone and lose them. Coach Ben Getty was Keith Thurman's head coach. He lost his coach. Andre Ward lost his father, went on to do great things. He was actually coached by my uncle in 2004 Olympics. Great kid. He ended up becoming a Hall of Famer, undefeated fighter, gold medal Olympian, and won the Super 6 tournament against the best fighters that were currently in that game today. Miguel Kessler and Arthur Abraham, the best of the best at that weight class at that time period. and they were all more mature and further in the game. They were all at their peaks, and he came and took that. And that's what happens when you understand the system of boxing. You couldn't beat Andre Ward if he was under the influence of five bottles of alcohol, because he's a systematic fighter. And that's what happens when you get to the higher levels. You can beat some club fighters, some other guys who don't belong, but you couldn't beat a real fighter. So if you're out here and you're trying to learn boxing on YouTube, don't do it. You won't go anywhere. You'll just be used as what we call an opponent, right? In boxing, we already know who you are. You can't possibly beat guys who are educated. It's just like trying to tell me you got a better chance at getting a job at a law office and you ain't go to college against someone who went to Harvard. It's never going to happen, not even in a movie, right? So that's exactly the same thing. Our boxing education program at Top Trainer U is kindergarten through college. And if you're doing it serious, you got to learn how to do it. And the best thing about it is, if you don't have a coach, we can pair you with a coach in your neck of the woods. And this isn't a plea for me. I'm on a mission to make sure these guys don't get in the ring and get slaughtered. And I'm also setting up for the sport of boxing that have value and some better fighters growing into the next generation and right now. And so it's my job to sell you in, to serve you as the person who really is about this sport, who really has bloodline ties, who really is third generation, and who really is out for the outcome of what boxing is over the course of their future. That's what my whole entire end game and purpose was. That's why I've written so many books about boxing, because you just could not get that when I was coming up. All right. So when you're trying to learn, take the liberty to go up to our page and learn a little bit more about what we actually are. We are not video clips that you can learn. You can't learn this stuff. Remember, the 7 is on the table, the night 17 is on the table, but you don't have the equation. We can give you all the drills, and but you don't know what goes, the formula that goes behind it. Therefore, we'll turn it against you, and you can't make an adjustment because you don't understand what you are actually doing and why you are actually doing it. Does that make sense? All right, because for real, we don't put some heads to bed, a whole lot of them on the lower levels and the elitist of professional levels. So I want you to just take that with you, and I hope this lands on you and that you really soul search. If you coach, you got to get a system. There's like 3% of the coaches in the world that are tied to a real in-depth boxing lineage, because there's only so many gold medals. All right. The Olympics is every 4 years. So think about how few coaches that is and fighters. Then you only got so many world champions, right? So it can't be but so many elite level coaches that really have the formula, not to get there, but to stay there. All right. So then that means there's only a few real recipes. There's a whole lot of posing going out here, because anybody with a camera can act like that they really did it. But I got the history, I got the lineage, I got the cachet. All right. Everything that I got, it speaks that what I did. And now we're passing it on to you as coaches. And yeah, you'll have the material. So ask and inquire, because the thing that you got to learn is you got to ask questions. If you don't, you'll just never get there. You'll be where you are today. Imagine in 10 years being where you are today. But that's what happens to everybody. There are guys who've been fighting for 10, 15 years and they're in the same spot or maybe even further backwards. And that's because they didn't understand, they didn't learn. And I don't want that for you guys, because I want to be able to invite people down here to say, hey, come take part, man. Let's go over here and visit some of these amazing gyms, and let me put you in a clinic and take you to another level. Let me show you the game from the inside out. And that's what we teach. And so go over here, man, check out our stuff, or go find somebody else who's doing it. But don't try to do this on your own. You'll get blown away. There are guys like myself who've dedicated their entire lives to the sport of boxing, there's 100,000% a chance you will never climb that mountain unless you team up and learn how to do it. So that's my cry out to you, that I am going to sell you in, whether you want to or not. If you want to make it in this sport, you got to get to a place where someone has already done it. And so that's why we're doing this. We had a great workshop last night on Zoom. If you want to attend the next one, the links in the comment to register. It's absolutely free. And the first thing is going to happen, and I'm going to be clear, I'm going to show you why you should be in the school of boxing. And you're either going to make a move or you're going to sit on the toilet and not take a poop. But that's going to be on you. So don't go in there thinking you're just going to watch a video. I'm going to make it clear why you need this. You're going to need to see it. And that's what it means to be transparent. Because before I just was like, all right, come check it out, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll hit you with it. But I'm like, F that. This guy will be a guy who's in the sport. So if I don't tell him, he won't do it and he won't know better. And then when he get his ears pulled off in the ring, then he's going to point at his coach. But it ain't his coach fault, because the fighter is the boss. The coach is the liaison. All he does is work with you in the gym. So you need to learn how many of these guys you need around you when it comes to management. How do you set up and connect with real management that guide your career when you get to the professional rankings? So you need to learn the inside of boxing, because you know absolutely nothing. You know none of the vocabulary. And we want to make sure that you guys learn. And that's what we teach you in our school. So I think you can get in. It used to be 57, it's 97 now, and it ain't going no lower a month, and that's pennies to what you're getting. Let me see what my man's saying. I met Andre Ward, SOG, at the Native American National Championship, which my son won. Uh, my son was ecstatic about meeting the Olympic team. We fought the next month at the Ringside World Championship. Love the boxing world. Yeah, it's amazing. And we have to keep the fiber of boxing. Thank you so much for that, Larry. Let me see. What do you have to say about Errol Spence style of fighting with the high guard versus Canelo style with the consistent head movement? Which style is, there's no better style. It's who knows how to use what when. Nat, that's a great question though, because of course a lot of people who don't understand what boxing really is about, they look at one guy's style, they look at another guy's style. It's all about when you know what to do with that style and the timing that you know what to implement with that style. The person who has the highest boxing IQ and has been educated properly with necessary muscle memory can pull the trigger on no matter what situation or style he utilizes. Most, you have to have it all. And in our school, we teach you the foundation of fundamentals, the principles of boxing, all of the skills, and then skills and sets. And then you master the styles, and then you learn how to fuse theory and concepts. And then you start mastering, systematically developing your craft. And then it's embedded in your muscle memory. And that's when you get so good, you become cagey. And no matter who you fight, you never will lose a fight. Somebody might not score it for you, but you will never lose a fight, because you won't get hit like fighters get hit, because the science of boxing is hit and not get hit. And that's exactly what we teach you. And you got to just really, really develop it. Thanks, Las D. Django. It's hard to see my eyes. I ain't got my glasses on. I'm trying to squint, but I can read your thing. I love the fact that you watching, but don't get it twisted. There's a system behind. There's a formula behind every drill, and I don't want you guys. Thank you so much for that comment, and it just gives me 30 seconds to address that. If you don't know calculus, I can give you the answer to a question, but you don't know the formula. And that's what my boxing system is. You can look at a drill and think you learned something, but you don't know the how, when, why, and the formula that I got my guys to be able to do that. It took days, weeks, and months to develop them to that point. And that's just not by chance. I'm just not saying that to deter you or to defer you. They really did. And when you watch our real videos, you will understand. Oh, I just saw that clip. And sometimes a clip will pop up from a video that you guys have seen. But what you didn't see is, how did they get there? How did they start off? And the warm-ups and the preparation and the muscle development drills that they had to go through in order to optimize themselves to do that drill. Because everything is about system optimization. You have to optimize your body to perform a certain way. You have to optimize and do mechanics in order to move certain ways. And that's the stuff that nobody's understanding. And then there are layers of things that go on top of that. My guys and my coaches will tell you they love that there's not going to be a lot of great competition out there except at the elite level, because nobody else understands how important it is to not learn on YouTube, to not learn on Instagram and Facebook. You got to learn boxing through being educated, and then you might pick up some things here and there, but you got to learn it. So I just want you guys to really understand. Next Wednesday, the 28th, we're doing a footwork in service so you guys can see the process of footwork development. If you want to attend, here's what you just need to do. There's a link in the description. Click the link and register. Put your name down, I think your email, and say, yeah, that's it. You don't have to pay a thing. Now I'm going to try to get you in the register if you qualify. I don't try to push anybody who doesn't qualify. We only want people who are serious. I'm going to go ahead and make that clear. We don't allow anybody in here. I kick hundreds of people out without them even knowing, because they just aren't realistic. All right. So one thing we require is that you are serious, and then you understand that it takes time to learn boxing, and that you are commit to learning all of the drills that we teach. And we teach boxing at the highest levels. Even when you come in day one, learning our program and our process, we're all in with our method, and you commit, or you don't stay in our program. I don't need to be doing it. I'm doing it for boxing. I'm not doing it for you. Okay. I'm doing it for boxing. So all of the people that actually belong in boxing know that they need to learn it this way. I ain't no beggar. I'm doing real good. I want the cream of the crop. We say the creme de la creme in our program, so we can put them in the upper echelon of the sport of boxing. And all of you other guys, the YouTubers, you guys will be our opponents warming up, because we know you don't stand a chance. You will be good work. But the thing is, we want quality people who understand that boxing takes commitment, decisiveness, because you want something that is going to change your life today. Then you got to commit to that process. That's all I got. I'm not answering any more questions. You have an opportunity to join me on a live feed. Take the liberty. If you can't figure out how to join it, leave a message. Our admins will handle you and give you the proper link in the messenger. If not, enjoy watching clips. We'll see you, but not in the winner's circle. Continue blessings to all of you guys. Enjoy the fights, and hopefully we see you guys next Wednesday. The replay will be sent out for all subscribers to our website on next Thursday. So if you miss yesterday's, make sure you subscribe to our website, and you will have an opportunity to replay or rewatch the art of sparring breakdown of classic sparring. That's it, man. Continue. Drop your comments. I still got you. We'll be combing through the comments and replying to you guys in the next 24 hours. Thanks again for watching. This is Master Boxing, where you get your master's degree in boxing. Special shouts out to you all. Thanks again.